morning, Internet. It's Chris, GearNoir on www.theshavingcadre.com. Good to be back with you. Before you turn me off, I want to thank you for popping in and seeing another video of mine. If you're catching this on YouTube, you can visit me on the forum I mentioned, and many other great people. But I really appreciate all those who hang in there, especially for the full length, if anybody does, and see how things are going with me and listen to my ramblings. Appreciate that. Now that I've got that out of the way, it's been an interesting week. I'll give you a little update first. We've been building up to the regular new year, the start of activities and things at work, and yeah, it's just been an interesting and weird week. If you've been keeping up with my journal, for the first time in many years, I forgot a switch shift that I did. It's just a shift I don't normally do, which would be opening at where I work. And for some reason, coming off the holidays and with my wife's recovery that's been going on and all that, I just forgot. And I got a call from my boss. I'm like, hello, are you supposed to be here? And oh dang, I totally did not remember that. I'm so sorry. But yeah, there's that. Sleepless nights and all that kind of stuff going on. Kids are back in school today. The missus is trying out going back to work for a little while. She works at the office of the place I work at, our church. So things are slowly coming up to full speed. We did get a bit of sad news yesterday. One of my co-workers that's on my team passed away suddenly. We just found that news out yesterday. So my prayers and thoughts to that family. It was a weird thing. She has been working with me for the last year, as long as I've had this job, and it was just real sudden. I saw her the day before. It looked like she wasn't feeling all that well, but you just kind of ask them if they're doing okay, and I did, and she said she was all right, and then we got the news later that she had passed away due to a heart attack, I guess. I'm not sure all the complications, but just kind of an odd day yesterday. Leaves kind of a little pit inside you when you hear that kind of news. I would happen to be the last person to see her leave work. Saturday was the last day she worked. Last time I saw her. But yeah, so there's that going on. But also, if you've been keeping up with my shaves on the Shaving Cadre, I've been testing out some razors that the monkey John has been sending, and all week I got to shave with the Asylum RX, and my first thoughts in last week's video were that it was a pretty nice shave. I like the heft, and definitely very maneuverable because of how small the head is. And it was a pleasure to use it all week, so that'll be my last official use. I'm sure maybe before I send it back I'll get another 1 or 2 uses out of it. The only razors I had to compare it to at that time were the RazoRock Hawk, and the aluminum version, version 1, and also the El Jefe, the Icon El Jefe, which I happen to also get from John and a Piff. But in comparison to those two, definitely a lot more blade feel. More efficient than the Hawk. Is it more efficient than the El Jefe? That's a good question. I'd say they're closely matched there. Both of them give a real nice smooth shave on the with the grain and across the grain. But on the against the grain is where the aggression really comes out in both of them. Do I have to pick between the two? I probably couldn't. If they were both in my hand and somebody said just pick one and you can have it, I'd probably go with the RX just because of the little bit of prestige that's attached with it. And it is a really well-built razor, stainless steel. The El Jefe is made out of some mystery metal that we're not all quite sure. But definitely tight tolerances, very rigid blade holding. It's got a lot of exposure, but it's not uncomfortable. It can be if you're not using it right, but it can also deliver a lot of great shaves, and that's what I got pretty much for the whole week. So, but otherwise, is it worth getting? Because I have the El Jefe, I have the Hawk. Is it worth shelling out for this guy? I'd have to say probably not. Given that I get the same shaves with the El Jefe pretty much, I'd have to say no. The El Jefe might not be quite as maneuverable. It is a thicker head and a rounded head, but I did enjoy using this a lot. And if I had the option to get one, the ability to, I might, but at this point, probably not. So, another razor that John sent me, and one I might even be less likely to have the opportunity to get, is the Colonial General. This is actually the brass. John had it chromed because he doesn't like the way brass looks or feels, or the maintenance, I think, is his reasoning. It is kind of slick because of the chroming. I don't know what the original brass handle felt like. It does look very nice. You can see there, it's got the rounded head. A little bit different than the El Jefe and the Hawk. The rounding on this blade comes almost up to the gap, so it should create a very smooth, or excuse me, the guard. So it should create a very smooth shave, which is what everybody pretty much says about it, except for poor Dangerous Don. He had some trouble with it, but he got good shaves. So, but this is a beautiful razor in its original version, and it's beautiful chromed. So I'm happy to be able to use this. Back when, let me keep my face wet here. I did my Williams pre-shave, but that only lasts so long when you're talking 7 minutes already. Back when I was entertaining the idea of getting an Artist Club single edge razor, just like, I don't know, within the last year, I said this is the one, if I had the opportunity to get like a good deal on a stainless or brass, that I'd want most, just because of the way it looks, all the positive reviews about it. I don't think I've ever really seen a bad review. Some people might prefer other razors, but I've never heard really any bad things about the General, other than maybe it's a little bit mild for some people's tastes and they prefer something with a little more aggression, like the RX or something like that. But so this is like almost a dream come true, being able to shave with it for a whole week. So we'll see how much of that dream is reinforced with the shave today. But I do have the aluminum version also that John sent along to try, so I'll be testing that out. That might be a little more doable, finding that on a BST or something. But and then also for today's shave, I'm going to be doing, this is, my wife gave me this for Christmas. We promised only to get each other small things, so she got me this. I've never tried it before. It's supposed to be regular shave cream. I opened it up and smelled it. It smells kind of like Parasso Green, but they call this shave cream with eucalyptus. And it looks like a normal cream. We're gonna experiment with this today. See if it lathers or anything like that. It doesn't say it's latherless, so we'll see. And then to finish off the shave, I've got my, of course, generic witch hazel. And I've got Pitralon Classic aftershave. Hopefully it'll match up nicely with the eucalyptus kind of scent. So with that, I've talked long enough. I'm gonna get to the shave, and I'll give you some thoughts while I'm doing it. And I'm gonna shave with it the whole week. And then just like I did for the RX, my next video, I'll recap the week a little bit, kind of give you some quote unquote final thoughts. So, but here we go with this one. Wet my face a little more. I didn't bring a bowl in, so I'm just gonna squeeze some of this out, a decent amount. you can kind of see. I'm going to try that much. Well, maybe a little bit more. And I'm going to rub it on my face here and try to lather it with my Bruce. Big Bruce, rather. It feels like a regular cream. My Bruce here. Get a little wet. Whoa, that flung off. Hopefully this doesn't destroy my Bruce. I don't think it will. At least with a tube cream, you're never gonna have to go back to a puff. You just squeeze out a little bit more. Well, it's pretty thick, it feels like. See if I can get some lather. So this is kind of a weird thing to do, I guess, but I wanted to try the cream and my wife said to get it on video for her, so that's what I'm doing. I love you, honey. I know when I saw pictures of folks using this Harry's, I looked up some stuff. It always looked a little thin. It is basically Harry, you know, Harry's is a cart razor kind of place. It doesn't feel mentholated like Parasso is. I'm getting a lot more of the eucalyptus now rather than that medicinal smell. I mean, I guess eucalyptus smells medicinal for some people, but I don't think this is gonna lather. Let me, well, any more than this anyway. Okay, I guess that's it. Low lather cream. Does it feel slick? Feels a little slick. All right, Colonial Brass General chromed. Warm the razor up a little bit here under some water. And off we go. This is a brand new Feather Pro. I've been experimenting with flipping the blade between shaves when I use the RX. And it seemed to work really well. I got up to 21 shaves without too much trouble. After about 10 or so shaves, the Feather Pro blade seemed to reach like a plateau in performance and never really varied from the 15th to the 21st shave or whatever. So the soap, I can't tell if it's the soap or the General itself. There is one thing that surprised me about this is there's a lot of machine marks on the head, more than I expected. I was expecting like a totally smooth thing. It feels really smooth, so I don't know. I looked at the aluminum version and it's got the same kind of markings, machine markings. But anyway. It does kind of just glide, which is really nice. rounding that chin is a good indicator that the Feather Pro in the General is tamed really well. Anybody who's used a Feather AC blade will know that those things are hyper sharp when you first use them. Okay, cream feels okay. I'm getting like, I can't tell if it's the water or what, but maybe there's a little bit of menthol in there, a little bit of cooling. Not as much as Parasso green. I like the heft of the General so far. Feels really solid. The handle, I could see where folks, myself probably included, might want a little bit more knurling. But it is a very mild shave so far. There are angles. It's got a smaller range of angles, but they're there where you can feel the blade a little bit more. So far, it's everything I hoped it would be, which is not good, because you can't get these unless someone's willing to part with it. I really wish they would just continue at least the stainless and aluminum versions while they're doing their research on their DE. Very smooth. I'm liking that a lot so far. But the test is yet to come here with Against the Grain. I'm not sure how I'd feel about the brass either. I get John's concerns about the maintenance. That would probably bug me too. I don't have any brass razors like the Carve or anything like that. But because of how smooth it is, I think I might be one of those that puts that little rubber O-ring around the threading. With ultra smooth and stainless razors like this, it never really happens, but it always feels like the head could slip around and twist at any moment. I mean, I'm sure it's all in my head, but the rubber ring would certainly help with that. All right, Against the Grain. That is so far effortlessly smooth. Makes me curious about the Cobra, which is also an Obtanium. KJ mentioned that the shave was similar when he used the Brass General. By the way, safe travels there, KJ. I know you're out and about on duty, doing work. Looking forward to your travel videos. Right now it feels, I mean, besides the weight and the head size, it feels a lot like I'm shaving with my Game Changer. Doing that final cleanup pass after I would use my my feather shavette or something. I'm trying not to push it too much this first shave. There's a lot of stubble that came off on this last pass, that's for sure. All right, I'm gonna leave that there. What a great shave. I think I'm in love already with the razor. Inanimate object. Nothing to reflect upon my love with my wife. I love you, honey. Let me clean up here. See where we're at. Not bad. Got some BBS areas. Use a little more cleanup under the chin and on my corners of my mouth here, but I'm not going to do that today. I just wanted to enjoy the first shave. Let me do some more cleanup. I'll be right back. All right, just did a little bit of washing, cold water rinse. So where are we at with the hairies? Thank you, honey. I made my video. It's good. It's doable. Where would I put it? It's probably about on the level of Parasso, which I enjoy using. Not as much menthol, but definitely that eucalyptus, you can feel and smell that. Maybe not quite as, it's hard to say, maybe not as slick as Parasso, but for some reason it just works anyway. It could be the razor that I'm using, I don't know. I can see where people would enjoy with carts, but I'm gonna enjoy supplementing some of my lathers with that. And it didn't seem to stick in the brush, which is a good thing. The lather, you saw how much I used. It was more than an almond size, which is kind of a general measuring tactic for creams, but it didn't cling to my brush or anything. Seemed to wash out okay. Let's see. We're gonna do some alum here, just to kind of test how the General did in general. And I got nothing. That's good. That was a very surprising and pleasing shave. First shave with the General. Rinse that alum off. Alum kind of dries out my face more than I like. Or more than needs to be anyway. This last week I've had to use a lot of moisturizer. Got my witch hazel. Alum kind of also seems to affect everything you put on after it, because it like clings to the skin and really dries things out. Well, not dries, it makes things kind of more tactile, grippy. So like, whereas normally witch hazel would just go on really smoothly and I could rub it all over my face, I can't have to pat it after I do alum because there's no smooth slickness to the witch hazel. It gets all removed because of the alum on the surface of my skin. But all right, open this here. Pitralon Classic, nice green aftershave. There's some menthol for you. All right, so that's the shave. Looking forward to the week with this Brass General. It's gonna be a fun week in terms of shaves. Enjoyed the RX a lot, and looking forward to what this week holds. Hopefully better things. But it's good to have been back with you. If you're catching us on YouTube, you can visit us and, well, us. I'm saying that like there's multiple of me standing here. Hello, Chris. Hello, Chris. But you can visit me and a bunch of other good people at theshavingcadre.com. Congratulations, Doug, for winning Josh's enormous piff. Looking forward to your thoughts on those, or at least the unboxing. I wish you did videos, man. It would be good to have the resident 3017er doing videos. And 3017 just means using a soap up until it's gone and not using anything else in the meantime. But yeah, so there's that. Safe travels to everybody that's out there, especially KJ, moving around, and looking forward to the first year anniversary brush that's going to be being produced here. I get to participate in that. Yay! I'm excited about that, and to try to make the Badger one. I think I've made my mind up on that. I don't have a good Badger. The only one I have is Artist Shaving Genuine Badger, and that's like cheapy cheap and prickly and hard and not very soft, and yeah. So I need Eric, Mr. Sorrentino, the brush maker, to convince me that Badgers are still worth the effort. So otherwise, I love my synthetics. But that's it for this week. Good to have been back with you, and have a great week, everybody. See ya.